don't need a lot of land, guys. 10-acre piece. You do the work, follow my channel, the food plots, the screening, the off-season prep work, you can kill the biggest deer in your area, whether it's a 100-inch buck or a 250-inch buck. Do the work in the off-season and you can kill them. If you like what you see, please subscribe and enjoy the story of Double Beam. This buck right here got me more excited. My 170-inch Wisconsin monster I shot. Why? I was 14 years old. It was my first buck I ever shot. The 12-gauge shotgun, he flushed his woods for me. Out come this buck, at the time, it was a 200-inch deer to me. Just as excited, if not more, as a Double Beam buck I just killed. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's your first couple of years hunting. Shoot whatever. You know, this, without shooting this buck, I would have never got a lifelong passion of bow hunting and targeting mature whitetails. Sometimes the simplest, smallest things can mean so much, as this buck did with me. Take a kid out hunting, guys. You never know what it can do for him. But thanks, Jeff. Thanks for taking that 14-year-old kid out in the woods and giving him a lifelong passion to chase whitetails. Appreciate it. Let's get back and enjoy the story of Double Beam. The main purpose of this video is to let you guys know if you got a similar area, 10, 15 acres off the beaten path, not your typical 100,000 acres in prime whitetail country. Don't think you can't kill a nice deer like this, because you can. And that's what I'm going to show you and tell you how to do. Make no mistake, there's a lot of work involved. You got to do your homework. You got to create a sanctuary on your property. Like I said, it's a 10-acre piece. A few mistakes and that property's ruined.
You think you have to, like, there's a price to put towards it, or like you have to, because I knew Nate was really passionate about it, and when he puts his mind to something, I knew he was going to be all in. So that was always in the back of my mind, that like, okay, I know, you know, there's this opportunity. Once he put trail cameras up, it was very obvious those opportunities were his, you know, and all he had to do was play his cards right that year.
Feels so good to be in this game. You have no idea. It's early yet, but these October cold fronts can get moving. I've had two of my biggest deer that I had on camera. They've been in my soybean plot, of course. Daylight. 40 yards there. Something tells me he'll be back around a couple more weeks, if not that first week of November. Yeah, I call him Double Beam. He's got two main beams. Maybe that biggest buck. A few other 120 class bucks in here that all that want, but I'd sure like to see them.
So I'm going to try to fill you guys in as much as I can in this video without making it too long, explaining how I killed this buck on just 10 acres, real small piece of land. For more details, mock scrapes, food plots, creating a sanctuary, bow hunting tips, how to be a better bow hunter, check out my channel. I have several videos explaining exactly what led to me harvesting my biggest buck ever, this 170-inch Wisconsin monster. So you definitely got to create a sanctuary if you want to kill the biggest buck in your neighborhood. You got to have an area where the deer feel safe. I do have 3 boys. We enjoy our property in the summer. Kids have 4-wheelers and dirt bikes. We got a trail around the outskirts of our 35 acres here, and the boys have a good time. So enjoy your properties in the summer, but keep the pressure off come fall.
Just had an awesome encounter with an injured buck that was in here last year. A few black grounds out of nowhere. His right side was nice. This left side's best looking heavy, to be honest. Still in a limp up from last year. Look like a 3.5, maybe a 4.5. That's good. All these bucks have a big year about it's that time of year.
So the food plots are paying off. Planting the soybeans. This buck, as well as double bean, my main target, has been in my soybean plot consistently since September. Without all the off-season work and everything I did to stack the odds in my favor, I believe there's no way I would have got an opportunity at this buck. So let's talk real quick about stacking the odds in your favor. Anytime anyone puts down a real big monster buck in their area, you know, there's always those guys that say, oh, you just got lucky. Just sat in the deer stand, must have got lucky. I sure hope I get lucky someday. Well, there's some truth to that. Yes, it is possible, guys. You don't put trail cameras out, or you just go hunt the spot. You could have your biggest whitetail come out, and you might get lucky and you might kill him. That does happen. But that's not how I like to hunt. You can do everything right. Do the food plots, land management, hunt the wind right, hunt your spot right, create a sanctuary. You can do all that right, and you still might not get an opportunity at your target buck. It happens. But I'm a firm believer, if you do every little thing you do right, adds a percentage to your odds of killing your target buck, whether that's a 100-inch buck or a 200-inch buck. Every little thing you do adds a 5–10% chance of killing that deer. If you don't do anything to your property and you don't run trail cameras or nothing, your percentage of killing a big mature whitetail, the biggest deer in your neighborhood, are very low. Yes, you can get lucky, it can happen. Even if you do everything right, you might not kill that deer, but your odds are going to be a lot higher. It adds like a 10% chance. You create a real good food plot that you don't overpressure. That ups your odds of killing them by 10%. You put in a mock scrape by your bow stand that is unpressured. That adds a 10% chance of killing them. You create a sanctuary. You create an area where you know that big buck's feeling safe. That's gonna up your odds 10% of killing them. You're hunting off a main trail, either through scouting or trail cameras. That big mature buck is taking that trail. That's gonna up your odds by 10%. You have an unpressured food source. A lot of guys do food plots. The problem is they don't hunt them right, or they overhunt them, I should say. I don't even hunt my food plots unless it's in the morning and I know there's gonna be no deer in there. As weird as that sounds, it led me to kill this buck, as well as a real nice 10-point I shot this year. My food plots are sanctuaries. The deer feel safe, they feed there. This buck was in my soybean food plot that I created for him. The year prior, I was after him. Like I said, he was a mature deer then. He was either 4.5 or if not 5.5. I think he was 6.5 the year I shot him here, but he was a mature deer the year before I was chasing him. And I didn't have a stand within 100 yards of that soybean plot. I put a self camera in there and I stayed out. And he felt safe in there. I plant my soybeans late, they stay nice and green. And I'm a firm believer, that upped my odds 20% easily. Having the only green beans in town in September and October that this buck could enjoy really helped up my odds. So if you stay off your main deer trails and keep them scent free, that's gonna up your odds by probably 5–10% of killing that buck if he comes in. If you hunt the wind, gotta hunt the wind right, guys. If you're hunting the wind right that day, that's gonna up your odds 5–10% of killing that buck. If you position your stands right, not right on top of the main trails, not in the bedding area. I like to hunt near bedding, but not right on top of it, and I like to have the correct wind. If you do that, that's gonna up your odds 10–15% of killing that big mature deer. If you hunt the cold fronts, hunt those big temp drops, I'm telling you, I've seen it firsthand. Big mature deer get on their feet. It's incredible how the cold weather can get these big guys moving. So hunt those real cold days. That'll up your odds 5–10%. Another big one is hunting the good rut days. Pre-rut, rut, you got to be out there. You know, whether it's mornings, evenings, or full day sits in November, you got to be out there. So pre-rut and rut, my odds really go up to kill a nice mature deer. So mornings, evenings, whenever you can find time to get off work, get out there those peak times. So everything we talked about to stack the odds in your favor, you go from about a 5% chance of killing the biggest buck in your area all the way up to about a 50-60% chance on a given day to encounter him. That's how I look at it. Like I said, nothing's a guarantee. You can do everything right and you still might not get a shot at your target buck. Land management, food plots, hunting smart, everything's gonna up your percentages to kill that biggest buck you got in your area. Whether you're after a 100-inch deer or a 200-inch deer, it doesn't matter. Up your chances of killing that deer. If you guys have the time to put into your land or the area you hunt, any little thing you can do is gonna up your percentage of killing that big mature deer. So yeah, do what you can to up the odds in your favor. Don't rely on luck. I mean, why rely on luck when you can do things to help your chances of taking down a big buck like this? If you're super passionate about it, put the work in. It's amazing, you know, you put the work in. You don't have to be an experienced bow hunter, whether you're just started or if you've been doing it for 30 years. Put the work in, hunt smart. Your odds of killing the biggest buck in your neighborhood are going to be greatly increased. So we're going to get to the shot on this deer when I finally got my opportunity at him. He came in the morning and I hunted all day. I saw him in the morning with the doe. I couldn't get him off the doe, so I hunted all day and the stars aligned, everything came together. So let's go take a look.
60 yards. My body out with a doe right over here. Saw him with a soybean up his hill cameras. The doe walks by, this one's a doe just a doe. Guy brings it in. There's double beam. Put in a heart attack. Watched him make his scrape right over here, grunted to me twice. He looked, he thought about it, but I couldn't get him off the doe. Oh my God. So needless to say, I'm starving. I'm thirsty.
All the off-season work, the food plots, all the hard work you put in comes down to this one moment. Your target buck's coming in bow range. Well, I don't know if you guys can tell by that shot, but it was a little forward on this deer. A bow hunter's worst nightmare. I don't know how much sleep I got that night, but it wasn't a whole lot, I can tell you that. You know, you work so hard, get deer like this on camera, you think about it every day. Your whole life goes into it, at least mine does. I went home, reviewed the footage. It was getting dark, older camera. Couldn't exactly tell by the footage. I knew the shot was a little forward, obviously. So I gave him 4 hours, and my oldest son, who was 10 years old at the time, came with me. We snuck in, found the arrow. I don't know if you could tell by that shot, but when he took that first kick, the shot was a little forward. It blew it right through his heart, but it went into his opposite side. dead smack. That muzzy broadhead was in the center of his leg bone. So when he took that first kick, it actually snapped that arrow off. You can see it bounce on his back. So we found the arrow broke off. So you guys know the saying, when in doubt, back out. Well, that's what I did. It's cool enough. I knew the meat would be good. Gave him overnight and went in the next morning. Fortunately, I don't have the recovery on film. That'd be bad luck to bring in the camera. And sure enough, we did find him. He only went about 80 yards. I ended up putting a hard shot on him. It was just a little bit forward, but I looked up and saw him. I about knocked my cousin over. I was so happy. Can't describe that feeling. Best feeling in the world, as you guys know, when you look up and you see your target buck laying on the ground. So, wish I had that moment on film. Fortunately, I just started filming, and so I didn't have the camera with, but got some good recovery photos. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story of Double Beam. We're coming up on deer season. I'm getting super pumped. I'm sure you guys are getting super pumped. So check out my channel for more detailed information on food plots, everything that led me to kill this big boy. And I'm not in trophy whitetail territory. I don't have hundreds of thousands of acres. This big buck was killed on a 10-acre piece. Do the work. The food plots, hunt smart. So I'm hoping this video will help you guys take down the biggest buck in your neighborhood. Like I said, all these little things you can do will stack the odds in your favor. Up your percentages. Nothing's a guarantee in life, especially come bow hunting. But the more work you do, hunt smart, your odds taking down your dream buck go way up. So enjoy the video. Check out the channel for more in-depth on how to kill the biggest buck in your neighborhood.